Why are the Nikaya sutras considered the northern traditional sutras? Liao Qing asked. Dear Mr. Tan Tien, it's so interesting. I read the 2 lessons you taught to La Luong and Na Khan. I feel that you wrote very well and clearly. Although it is clear, I still have questions. I respectfully ask you to instruct me. 1. The Tang dynasty kings and the Sri Lankan kings must have known about the Nikaya sutras. Why did they let monks create more sutras? If they were devout Buddhists, shouldn't the 2 kings have protected the original sutras? 2. The Mahayana masters became monks hoping to attain liberation, but why did they have to suppress the Nikaya sutras? 3. I apologize to you in advance. Because I am a law student, so I am distorted in my profession. You must have evidence to condemn anything, right, sir? Therefore, to guarantee your teachings, I respectfully ask you for evidence to show that the Mahayana masters suppressed the Nikaya sutras. Reply. That's right. No lecture can cover all aspects, due to time constraints. Therefore, listeners often ask questions to clarify. Please explain your 3 questions in more detail. 1. Why did the king not promote the Nikaya scriptures? Although the king is the ruler of all people, to Buddhism, he is a Buddhist. Like thousands of other Buddhists, he is a seeker, a student of the Dharma. Because he is a student of the Dharma, he is an adorant and he wants to have many people who agree with him, agreeing with him in order to satisfy his interests. To win the king to follow him, the monk must know how to use psychology to teach the Dharma. If one wants to use psychology, one cannot use the Nikaya sutras, because the Nikaya sutras are concise, hard to swallow, and people who study the Dharma do not like them. Even monks are bored with reading them. Therefore, the patriarchs must create sutras that the king will love and admire when he reads them. Therefore, the king considered the main sutra or the secondary sutra as equal. As long as there were more and more followers of Buddhism, that was enough. Along with the way of conquering the king, the monk also had to use psychology to charm the hearts of as many people as possible to believe in him. If it is charm, then there is no longer propagation of the true Dharma, right? Here, the teacher explains more clearly. If one wants to read the Nikaya sutras, one must be determined to follow the Buddha and practice until attaining enlightenment. Because the sutras are concise and do not have anything attractive or passionate about them. In general, let me understand clearly, reducing greed is right. Mastering the stomach is right. Not being lustful is right. But, out of millions of people, how many can do it? Some people can control their stomachs, but still love sex. Some people don't love sex, but are greedy. 2. The monks and nuns practice to attain liberation, but why do they suppress the Nikaya sutras? If the Dharma is taught to a few people to follow and study, there is no need to create sutras. But as the number of people increases, they become the support of power. To protect power, the master must create sutras, and the sutras must win the hearts of superstitious people to believe. If you want followers to believe, the sutras must be attractive. Even if it is attractive, it must have the Buddha's words as proof. Thanks to the Buddha's words, followers will be faithful and believe. To make it easier for children to understand, the writers of the stories Monkey King, Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Jin Yong's martial arts novels, and Fong Then novels, have to present a few facts, then embellish them to make people believe them as if they were real. Therefore, to establish the scriptures so that people will respect, be loyal to, and believe in them, the scriptures must contain the Buddha's words, extracted from the Nikaya scriptures to make them pseudo-Buddhist scriptures. Why do monks practice to attain liberation, but must drown in the Nikaya sutras? Because they practice the wrong Dharma of Buddhism, they unintentionally indulge in greed. Many Buddhists have offered them fame, wealth, beauty, food, sleep, everything. And to enjoy all the fleeting pleasures, it is natural that they cannot let the Nikaya sutras reach the hands of Buddhist monks and nuns. If the Nikaya sutras reach the hands of Buddhist monks and nuns, then among thousands of people, there will be a few who will be alert, discover and practice to attain fruition. When the masses know about those who have attained fruition, will the results they are happily enjoying disappear into thin air? Because each master practiced the Buddha Dharma incorrectly, he created his own sect. That is why there are so many sects in the world. Scientist Einstein said, "The last religion to exist on earth will be Buddhism." Meaning, when the religion of Buddha Shakyamuni, that is, the true Dharma, is clear, then the heretical and theistic religions will automatically sink into darkness. Above is the teacher's reasoning to prove that there must be a motive for Mahayana to commit crimes. Do you know why Buddha advised his teachers, when you become famous, you should hide yourself? Because of fame, the common people surround him with fame, wealth, beauty, food, sleep, and physical pleasures, causing the master to return to greed, which is the end of his practice. His virtue must sink, drifting along the stream of greed. 3. Now, I present evidence. The patriarchs completely forbid monks and nuns from reading the Nikaya Hinayana Sutras. Next, the teacher argued to convince the jury, if the Nikaya Sutras were allowed to be read freely by monks and nuns, then some would find the truth, practice and attain enlightenment, and then the religious sects, along with the fake Buddhist sutras, would be destroyed. Proof: Venerable Tik Min Chow, although he knew that the Mahayana masters forbade reading the Nikaya Sutras, because he needed to improve his Pali vernacular to present his doctoral thesis on Buddhism, he was forced to read the Nikaya Sutras. And he was shocked and terrified. He was shocked because this was the true teaching of the Buddha, and he was terrified that because of their own personal interests, the teachers had decided to suppress the Nikaya Sutras. Even more clearly, Buddha taught that if one wants to enter meditation, one must close the senses and not let any of them run after the world. If any of them run after the world, one will fall into the wrong path. Humans have 6 senses: ears, eyes, nose, tongue, mind, and body. Body means the body, the hands and feet touch and receive sensations. Yet Mahayana thoroughly develops the passion of the 6 senses running after the mundane world. Ears hear the sound of chanting. Eyes see the beautiful scenery of the Buddhist temple. The nose smells the rich smoky aroma. The tongue tastes beautiful, sweet fruit. The mind is directed towards Buddha Amitabha. And the body rolls the rosary, knocks the wooden fish, rings the bell. It's so obvious, Mahayana has led practitioners into a maze. Enjoying fleeting happiness and pleasure, so that they together accept birth, aging, sickness, and death, right? 4. To understand clearly, we need to make a comparison. What about Master Thong Lak? He does not let the monks do anything. He serves the monks. He teaches the Nikaya Sutras to help the monks understand the Dharma of practice. He forced the monks to, in solitude, eat 1 meal a day, sleep 4 hours, money does not stick to the pocket, bring the Buddha's Dharma to practice properly, to abandon desire, abandon evil, and increase good. Do not hurt me. Do not hurt people, and do not cause suffering to living beings, to have human ethics, cause and effect and attain precepts, concentration, wisdom. So, did Master Thong Lak follow the Buddha's teachings for Subhata? The Buddha taught Subhata that, when the monks practice and preach the Dharma correctly, this world will never be empty of liberated arahants, okay? Writing, must show evidence to believe, observe the image of the monks and read the original teachings of Buddha, 12 gates to the path. And the path to Buddha's land, it is clear. So, isn't Master Thong Lak a saint, a person who has attained liberation? Note. According to the principle, although the king rules over all people, the king is a Buddhist, a student of the Dharma. The king must respect the teacher. Why do monks bow down to the king, the powerful, the rich? Because the master has returned to increase greed, without knowing. Returning to greed, means becoming a slave to the stomach. Because of the stomach, they have to kneel down to the rich and powerful. That's why many monks are proud and happy when Buddhists pat their heads, give them degrees, give them compliments, put them in a mirror, and show off their talents to Buddhists. So sad. Let it go, Tam.